Joshua, how do you feel about timing?
I'm good for 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Excellent. Okay. Joshua, we can begin at your discretion.
When John Sylvan first founded Keurig way back in 1990, he had a vision to take Keurig and put it in each and every home across this great country. What his vision didn't entail, however, was the billions and billions of Keurig K-Cups ending up in landfills laying waste to our environment. For 26 years, our short-term pursuit of profit has seen us, Keurig, look the other way. Look the other way as our product, the K-Cup, which takes over 500 years to degrade, has poisoned the earth and created irreversible damage. Damage which will not affect only us, but also our children's children's children, as they will have to pay the price for this. Keeping this in mind, we can no longer ignore the fact that our product is made up of a plastic that contains a carcinogen, polystyrene, and this is linked to not only cancer, but also death. As a proud employee of this great company, I urge you, the board, to think about our future and take action. This being said, there is no better day than today, being International Earth Day, to embrace a new vision and think about our future and put our planet in the forefront. Today is the day we inspire change. Today is the day we take notice. Today is the day we brew a better world. Thank you.
Good job, Josh.
Okay. Who wants to follow that?
There's a lot.
Excellent.
Just finish this.
Is it, your first name is?
Chris.
Chris, that's right, we met yesterday.
Yeah, that's right.
Chris, give me a second.
Sure.
Chris, we're ready to begin when you are.
All right. So as we discuss this case of Apple versus the FBI, what we see is that for Apple to comply with the FBI's demands and grant them access into the San Bernardino phone, would actually be writing software that would jeopardize the safety and security of not just that single phone, but every single iPhone we've ever distributed. What that means is we put at risk every single one of our global customers. We've got 75 million in the US and even more worldwide. We cannot be seen to be a company that gives our customers security on the one hand, but then takes it away with the other. The other important aspect to consider is this is not just a case in isolation. This is actually a case that has ramifications for the greater global economy. We're taking a stand against the government, against government interference in private business. This is the entire foundation of our global economy. Economic liberalism, laissez-faire markets, where government and businesses run separate tracks and they do not interfere. For us to give in on this matter would compromise that entire foundation. It would set precedents for other businesses to be attacked by government and to be shut down by government censorship. So these are the two things that are at great risk or great cost if we comply with the government on this account. Thanks very much.
Very good. Wow, we're halfway done. Okay. Is the team from SUNY Potsdam here?
Yes.
Okay. Is the team from Miami here?
Yes.
Okay. Miami, would you like to go first or second?
I think she's walking.
Oh,
She would like to.
I thought it was in the order of the list.
We can do it that way, or unless anybody has 7 minutes.
Well, how do you like to
Excellent.
go?
Go ahead. Okay, so I know we met yesterday. Your first name is
Clean.
Clean, that's right. Same was yesterday, which is good. Good. Clean, we're ready to begin when you are.
All right. Thank you for holding this meeting today regarding Snapchat's ethical issues. On my way to work this morning, I could not help but feel disappointed regarding Snapchat and our ethical issues. I have been here for 1 entire year working with this company, and we have not done anything regarding the ethical issues that I proposed 1 year ago. Child exploitation within this application is still an issue. There have been 9 cases within the past 4 months, one of which there was actual contact made between a child and a predator, and we did nothing. We did not set up the feature to report photos or videos that were explicit or that made users feel uncomfortable, and we did not even take any strides to stop the issue by working with the campaign for child exploitation. What is it that we're doing here? What is it that you brought me on the team to do if we're not making any strides to stop this issue? Beyond the legal matters within the FBI or the FTC, we need to work on this issue ethically because it is the right thing to do. I am not here at this company to waste my time. I strongly believe in the ethics of this company. I have a 13-year-old little sister who I did not feel comfortable with her using our application at this time. We need to make a change and we need to work on this now. Thank you.
I hope you're from the University of Miami.
Yes.
Excellent. Your first name is?
Alex.
Alex, I'm Kevin.
Alex, pleasure, Kevin.
ACS?
Oh, Alex.
Alex.
Yeah.
Okay. Alex, I am ready when you are.
Okay. Let me interject. I understand that we need to make a profit, but our beef is not grass-fed, as we seem to imply. I understand that we have little control over how much of our waste goes out after it leaves our premises. But McDonald's is number 2, second to cigarette butts found on littering in the streets. I understand that as far as a drive-through, that is 70% of our revenue. I understand that. However, the social cost of CO2 emissions is about $3.5 million per year. Now, currently, we have devised 5 pillars of sustainability based on the values of 1, utilitarianism, number 2, corporate social responsibility. But we have failed in acknowledging and aligning our business practices with what we are actually marketing out there. Now, to correct this, we need to add the lens of shared value. Okay, and with the lens of shared value, we find that number 1, it will actually allow us to apply business practices that are actually sustainable for our overall environment. That are sustainable. It'll also allow us to redefine the value chain. And last but not least, it'll actually ensure the trust that we McDonald's are actually doing what we say we're going to do, because we want to be sustainable and we want to be green. Thank you for your time.
It's sort of anticlimactic, isn't it? Right? Okay, we can do a couple things. We can walk out of here and say nothing. I can share with you my first impressions, okay? And I'm not going to tell everybody who did best or worst. That would be unfair. I need to think about that. So is that fair to say? Okay, good. Okay, I'm going to start with Alex. Okay, Alex, a couple of things you did really well. Okay, first of all, I liked how how you acknowledge sort of the challenge of the status quo. That's a forceful argument, because you're effectively saying, hey, we can stay where we are, but that's not what I'm here to advocate for. So that's sort of good, because you basically stayed right up front. You know, that's always an option, the do nothing option, and I thought that was well said. I like the way you paced and the way you reflected thought and the way you sort of went through you know, your points and your ideas. I thought that was very effective. And I like the fact that you came forward and basically got to the point of sustainable business practices are what we have to be about. That's an opportunity for our brand. Did I get it?
Yes.
Okay, good stuff. Nice work. Okay, Joshua, who was in the 10-minute sessions with me this morning? Okay, okay. A couple things. I'm probably about as old as your dad, for everybody in the room except George. Okay. Okay. I have a freshman in college. I have a sophomore in high school. Okay. In talking with the group this morning, I was reminded of 4 things. I was reminded of these following 4 things. Always be humble. Never assume there's somebody in the room who may know more about what you're talking about than you. Okay. I've fallen guilty of that trap on many occasions. Okay. Always be flexible and be ready to listen more than you talk. Okay. I used to develop styrenic resins for a chemical company, so I know about the things you're talking about. Okay, a couple things. I did not, first of all, you spoke forcefully and you clearly had conviction in your argument. That's powerful, okay? And Joshua, you did the same. Don't lose that. That's always important to be able to do, particularly when you have 90 seconds only to kind of get your point across, okay? The other thing is, that approach where you sort of use forceful outrage. One of the things you do is make eye contact during your discussion. Very effective. Always be able to do that. I don't know about you guys. Many in the room may be like me. I tend to become rather self-absorbed, but that ability to make eye contact is very effective way non-verbally to engage other folks in your discussion and your point. Okay, you draw them in. Okay, I wasn't completely clear until probably about a minute in what really was the issue or the challenge. But of course, the scenario assumes that everyone knows what you're talking about. So if in the point about the long degradation time of olefins in the environment, styrenics for an example of an olefin, is a very good one. Because I think you're making a point. We're stewards of the earth. We need to enable a sustainable environment and turn this over to the multiple generations that follow. As a dad, that resonates, whether you intended or otherwise. Okay, nice work. Chris, you and I met yesterday.
That's right.
Okay, I'm going to be blunt. You did a better job today than you did yesterday. Okay.
Well, thank you.
You did a really good job. One of the things very, very effective that Chris did. Okay, if you take one thing from the example of Chris's discussion, look at the contradiction he used early in his argument. Okay, can you remember what that one was that you talked about? You used a contradiction. You said this.
Right. Yeah.
You want to repeat it?
Sorry, my blank.
It's okay.
Yeah. Okay. Billy. I'm sorry.
It was government versus.
Right. So granting security with the one hand, but then taking it back with the other.
Excellent. Yeah. Okay. So some of you may at some point be involved with working in innovation for your company. Innovation is the point about generating new ideas, possibly even breakthrough technologies. There are different examples of innovation and so forth. But there's a school of thought in the world of academics about innovation that innovation follows from contradictions. That all of the intellectual property we've ever created in the world ultimately can be traced back to about 40 ideas. Okay, one of the keys is when there's a contradiction in place, there's an opportunity for a breakthrough idea. Okay, but a contradiction is also sort of a complex thought that is very effectively creates context to understand the point of your argument. So whether you intended that or otherwise, excellent technique in trying to make your argument. Okay, I really like that. You also crystallized your argument very well in a couple of points at the end. Nicely done. Okay. The other group I met yesterday was SUNY Potsdam. Okay. You used a technique which is also very good. You used sort of the point where you leverage rhetorical questions. Rhetorical question meaning you ask a question, but it's more in the context of an argument or a plea than something you're looking for, earnestly asking for an answer. Make sense? That was very good, and I like that. And I also liked where you stress the ethical dilemma and you were urging change. So those were all good ways to make your arguments, okay? So the point of this today, okay, I'm going to say something that may surprise you, okay, but I told the group this morning as well. The point of this today is not about who's best or who won. The point is learn from each other and take from each other what you each did well and what you think you could do better. Because I'm sure in 90 seconds, even with an extremely short attention span like mine, okay, you were able to pick up and figure out what you liked or didn't like or what you each thought better, okay? So learning from each other is what's really helpful. You do it in the classroom all the time, okay? So those are I thought were some really good points and techniques that each of you used in making your arguments. Okay, I'm going to close with a quote, okay? There's an old quote, it's attributed to Jackie Onassis. It really comes from a Broadway play. And George had to listen to me tell this morning, okay? But the quote is this: don't let it be forgotten that once there was a spot, for one brief shining moment, was a place called Camelot. And the point of the quote is, life is, for all the hard work, the toil and the trouble, okay, it's about creating Camelot moments. So each of you is part of a team. I hope you've enjoyed your time here, and this has been a Camelot moment you can build from. I applaud you for your courage to come forward and participate. You could all be back at school this weekend, right? Okay, probably having a good time. Okay, but you came here, possibly, interested in the challenge, interested in the opportunity, but you had the courage to get up here and give it a shot and work together. I don't know if any of you didn't know each other before you worked together this project, but I hope you all know each other a bit better now. Thanks, I enjoyed it. Hey, it was a pleasure. It's nice seeing you.
Thank you.
Good luck. I hope so, yes.
See you later.
Good stuff.
Thank you.